American sonnet for my past and future assassin. Probably twilight makes blackness dangerous darkness. Probably all my encounters are existential jambalaya, which is to say, a nigga can survive. Something happened in Sanford. Something happened in Ferguson and Brooklyn and Charleston. Something happened in Chicago and Cleveland and Baltimore and happens almost everywhere in this country every day. Probably someone is prey in all of our encounters. You won't admit it. The names alive are like the names in graves. Probably twilight makes blackness darkness and a gate. Probably the dark blue skin of a black man matches the dark blue skin of his son, the way one twilight matches another. I met Terrence 20 years ago in Treme, a historic part of New Orleans, Louisiana, a year after I graduated from my alma mater, Dillard University, a historically black college where Jericho Brown grew to as tall as the oaks that line the center of campus. Terrence and I frequented a poetry and writing workshop, NOMO, as did Jericho, led by poet Kalamu Yasalam, that met in Treme. But how I really met Terrence first was through his poetry. Introduced to me by Jericho, who was working as a speechwriter for then Mayor Mark Morial. I will never forget when Jericho faxed, yes, faxed, a copy of Terrence's poem At Pegasus from his office to mine, where I worked about 20 minutes from him as research assistant to Dillard University's 2 endowed professors. I was not only floored when I read the poem, but somehow risen in the same moment. How did he do that? I wondered then, and it is a question I still ask about Terrence's poems and expect I always will. I am grateful to have had Terrence's words and brotherhood around me and in my life for the past 20 years, from the journey of his first book, Muscular Music, to his latest, American Sonnets for My Past and Future Assassin, where this poem is published. He lives in New York now, and I imagine that even in these turbulent times, that city is more alive with light and brilliance, much like a comet, because his presence is there. In Double Profile, Catlett captures what is arguably the greatest foe of blackness, the white, racist lens cast upon the black body, particularly here, the black male body, in light and in shadow. There is the two-ness Du Bois captures, which addresses the double consciousness to be black and American. The freedoms, Du Bois explains, of citizenship are in direct opposition to the blackness deemed unfit for the benefits, joys, pleasures, and liberation one gains when one is an American citizen. On the left of the lithograph is a young black man with chiseled features, bright, clear eyes, cheeks as magnificent as the light in a pear. On the right, the silhouette is shadowed, and only the whites of the eyes can be seen. Perhaps Catlett knew what Hayes anticipates. Whether in the light or in the darkness, there is a danger to blackness in the eyes of the white supremacist. This is why Cave Canem exists as a home for black poetry. In that space, we make no apologies for blackness or our poems, which speak of the varied cultural expressions of blackness. One of the founding members of Cave Canem, Terrence Hayes, unearths the reality that because blackness is labeled and licensed as dangerous that something happened in cities all over America, and the something need not be named, for Hayes presumes rightly that we all know, we all saw, we all bear witness to these unjust police killings targeting innocent black bodies. Yet Hayes honors the beauty of skin, the beauty of the black gaze looking back onto itself in wonder, in amazement. I cannot help but think of Ava DuVernay's impassioned drama series, When They See Us, about the now exonerated five, falsely accused of gang rape in 1989. I think about my own son and my fiery insistence to protect his gaze inward. What I mean is this: I would not have him see himself as the white racist world sees him, a shadow, a danger, a fright. I would have him live in the light of Hayes's twilight, where excellence reigns, where he is nobody's prey, despite myriad encounters with those who might seek to make him their own by taking him from me, by revoking him of his birthright, which is to live without the chase of mobs, whether they wear white sheets or silver badges that gleam.